Ayong buntag, Bishop, mga kaparian, mga igsoong kamadrihan, o mga layko, nga niya karon dinhi. Maayong buntag sa tanan. Dili nako ikalilong ang akong gibati karon. Kay nibalik ang akong mga eksperyensya nga tuwa ako sa Manila. Giingnan ko sa director, Sister, we have a problem. I attended the Congress, International Congress nga gitambungan sa more than 500 delegates. Unya wala mo abot ang speaker sa consecrated life. Ug giingnan ko sa director, ikaw ang makasulbad niini, sister. Og nagsakit akong tiyan kay wala na'y panahon i-andam. So nga akong gibuhat ning adto ko sa chapel, Ginoo, i-claim nako nga nag-ingon ka, ayaw kahadlok ang imong isulti, dili imo kundili ako. Mao na ang akong gihuptan kaganina pagdungog nako sa tingog ni Sister Emma. Sister, you are chosen to be one of the speaker. Sa akong kasinatian sa akong pagkamadri, 38 na katuig ang akong pagkareliyosa og maghiisgot bahin sa mga gasa nga gihatag sa Ginoo kanako, dili nagyud maihap kay una sa tanan ang akong health. Ingon ako, dako kaayo na nga gasa nga gihatag sa Ginoo kanako. Kaupat na ko gisantalanahan o katapusan sa talana dito sa Amerika, giinan ko sa doktor, Sister, 50-50 na gyud ka, sister. Muuli na lang ka sa Pilipinas. So ingon ako, kung unsay kabubuton sa Ginoo matuman. Dako kaayo sa pagka-reliyosa ang epekto sa pagkamainampuon. Importante kaayo ni sa akong kinabuhi kay daghan mga mirakulo nga nahitabo sa akong kinabuhi. Mao na ang nag-ingon ko, every minute of my life is a miracle and that miracle is unrepeatable. I always claim for that miracle until now. Sa akong mga gasa nga gihatag sa Ginoo, pagpuyo lamang sa consecrated life, dili sayon. Kinahanglan ang pagkaaberto o pagkamalahutayon sa tawag sa Ginoo. Labi na sa kapanahunan karon, labi na kami mga misyonaryo, iadto kami sa lain-lain nga mga lugar, mga critical o unsa pa diha. Pero kung naa ang Ginoo kanato, Christ is present in us, walay angay kahadlukan. Ang akong usa ka gasa nga pasalamat nako sa Ginoo ang kaalam. I have been going to other countries. Usahay magpanuko ko pagpaambit sa pulong sa Ginoo. But then, I was invited to be the speaker. Salamat na ana nga kaalam. Pagpalanog sa pulong sa Ginoo, labi na sa mga taong Mexicano. I have to speak in Spanish para sila makasabot unsa ang pulong sa Ginoo. Salamat kay mingon siya, comprende hermana muy bien. So ingon po ko, muchas gracias. Ang akong nakita nga gasa sa akong pagkatao, ang akong pagkamanggihatagon sa akong panahon. Munang giingon pa sa among superior, kani si Lili, platuan ni sa klase pero platire pod. Kay bisag dili na makaya, okay gihapon. So kada ang akong gipasalamatan sa Ginoo ang pagkamanggihatagon sa akong panahon sa lain-laing grupo. Kunya, ang akong nakita nga very important sa ako na himutang ang mga suporta sa mga laiko, mga suporta sa mga higala nga makapadasi kanako diha sa akong paglahutay. So sa akong pagkakatigulangon, usahay na ay mga punto nga dawaton. Sabi na mining panahon sa pandemya, usahay dili na ka makaadto sa gusto nimo adtuan. Pero daghan di ay ang mahimo nato, labi na sa kinabuhing mainampuon. Sa akong pagpuyo dinhi kaniadto, nakaumol ko og mga kababayen-an nga mahimong magtabang sa home for the aged. Akong gilukbak to, malipayon ko kaayo ni adto nga panahon. Nya ang mga tigulang moingon, sister, andam nako mamatay. Kay daghan man amo mga activities niya to. Sa pagkakaroon nga na-assign ko sa pastoral ministry as coordinator, usahay doon ay panahon nga malaayan ko kay kanilaging pagkaaktibo sa atong hunahuna pero hinay-hinay lang. So daghan mo adto sa opisina, counseling, tambag sa ilang mga problema lang ko. Salamat sa Ginoo, napuslan ra gihapon ko. Ug tungod niini nga mga gasa nga gihatag kanako sa Ginoo, ako nagasaad nga magmatinumanon ako sa lagda sa among kongregasyon, tubay sa among konstitusyon, ug sa lagda pod sa Diocese sa Iligan diin ako naasa. Manghinaot ako nga hatagan pa ako sa Ginoo maayong panglawas nga bisan sa akong pangidaron madasigon og ingon pa nila magkamailhan nga tigulang na ka-sister, still young at heart. Hinaot unta nga diya sa atong pagka-relihiyosa magpabilin ang kanang giingon bisag tigulang naka kanang gitawag og growing gracefully with God. Daghan salamat.
Good morning, everyone. First, I would like to thank Bishop and our fathers for allowing us to share our reflection for today. So thank you, fathers. Thank you, Bishop. I prepared a short reflection about the graces of living a consecrated life. As a consecrated person, I am most grateful for the gift of my community. As we are experiencing an extraordinary time, we know that it is difficult for us to be with our loved ones. With this, our community became our family, our comforter when challenging time comes, our strength and inspiration to be motivated to do God's mission and ministry, and a primary source of good witnessing of Jesus' presence as we foster our faith and relationship with God together. Though there are times when we also get tired of each other's presence, but at the end of the day, our community will never cease to show love and support to one another, which shows God's loving presence that we are all invited to recognize, acknowledge, and reciprocate. With this, I am to give in return myself, my full commitment as I continue the mission and ministry that my founder, St. John Baptist de La Salle, entrusted to the De La Salle brothers, a calling that entails giving myself wholeheartedly as a form of being a servant of God. And this goes to all of us. As we celebrate the World Day of Consecrated Life, we are invited to give ourselves wholly by first remembering our initial yes, why we entered this beautiful life, but most especially our current yeses that we have now, that continues to give us the fire to live out and emulate a life that Jesus had. Because these yeses that we have now is an evidence of God's loving presence. And we can only do this if we continue to see God in the people that we are with and in the event that we experience. But most importantly, within us. Because God's love and presence never change. Our reason in giving ourselves and continuing this life may change, but God's love never changes. As I end my reflection, I would like to share with you a passage from the prophet Malachi which my fellow brother also shared during his reflection. God is always the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. He never changes. He is also faithful, so constant, so loving, so true. Let us continue to recognize, foster, and live out the love and presence of God as we continue to live this grace-filled life in faith, service, and in communion as we all continue all our actions for His love. Thank you.
Hi. I am not that prepared, so I'll just read my copy. My name is Jom. I am a Redemptorist missionary. I was professed in 2012 and was ordained in 2017. I am 31 years old. And I was transferred here in Iligan last August 2020. Like what brother shared, it's almost similar with me also. As a consecrated person, what I am most grateful for is relationships, friendships. These are the gifts that I have grown in gratitude this time, aside also from the usual gifts like the gift of life. And as a millennial priest, I also recognize the need to relate, to build friendship, to feel being loved, and to be loved, or to love. And these are facts and gifts that I believe what I really need, that I may be able also to grow continually as a person and as a Redemptorist missionary. Thus, my Redemptorist community, with all its imperfections and weaknesses, is something that I am very grateful for. And it is through my community that I have been affirmed many times. People also have recognized and affirmed me. And this did not only boosted my self-confidence, but also added to my conviction that I am gifted in one way or another. And that these gifts in me are not for me alone, but to be shared in my own way of life as a Redemptorist missionary. However, it is also around here that at times I feel being uneasy because of being affirmed, simply because affirmation and recognition can also be intoxicating. Indeed, affirmations and recognitions can be quite overwhelming. I recognize that these can also be forms of temptations where I will grow overconfident, self-satisfied, and arrogant because of what I have achieved and what I have gained. And my Redemptorist community served also as my own mirror to see my own inadequacy and the need to grow more and to develop as a better person. Thus, being corrected and being confronted of my own weaknesses and failures have helped me a lot to know myself better and to respond responsibly. Hence, being a Redemptorist, my community is a gift that I have grown really to be grateful for. And outside my own Redemptorist community, I also recognize the gift of friendship that I have developed among the people, among our parishioners, among the different ministries that I am involved in, and the gift of friendship that I continue to develop and to nurture. And this friendship outside my religious community have given me not just affirmations, but also opportunities for me to express intimacy, to express love and concern without crossing or abusing boundaries. Those friendships that I have with individuals and with families have helped me better understand that it is needed, that it is indeed possible to love without exclusivity in the religious vocation, and that it is possible to express intimacy, to be loved and to be loving in my religious vocation. Now, both of these have helped me to become more grateful of my personal relationship and friendship with the Lord. Those human relationships I have with my religious community and with others have helped me certainly to have a grounding in growing in my relationship with God, whom I cannot see physically, but only through the people who surround me. And with all of this, through the gift of relationships and friendships, what I also believe that I am called to give now in return is the gift of my presence as a friend, as a pastor, as a minister, as a priest, and as a missionary. The gift of my presence, as I have become aware, involves many demands from me. I know that to give one's presence will not be easy. To be able to give fully my presence into the other would always require me to let go of my own comforts, to let go of my biases, and even in many ways, to let go of my tendency to keep myself at a safe distance. Yet, as Pope Francis said, as a religious, I am also called to live the gospel with joy, which can only be possible when I also become more generous of myself to others, most particularly in my ministry. Being called to give the gift of presence to the people and to the church calls me, Father, to be life-giving, both in my words and also in my actions. And I recognize that this will not be easy. Again, it will demand more from me. But joy and the fullness of life will surely be a reality for me once I will be able to give more life to others. Hinaot pa.
May I call on now the vicar for the religious to lead in the consecration prayer for the religious. Please rise.